Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. Featuring today a 1 versus 1 on Moscow Outskirts. Yes, indeed, Moscow Outskirts. A nasty little 1 versus 1 as we continue to hope for more replays to pop up and replays of some good caliber. We shall be watching Faith is Insanity flying from the north, taking on the role of the 4th Panzer Division's Ausklärungsabteilung. Opposing him shall be Masterigor, fighting for the Soviet Union's 350th Rifle Division. And we are noting here already a rather pioneer-heavy start from Faith is Insanity. Lots of Pioniere, moving all directions, hoping to seize as much territory as possible. Likely, of course, a sort of reappearance of the Pioneers. Bam, using that to sort of take up to the next tier and get the stuff there necessary. And we're also noting here that Masterigor is apparently planning something that's similar, except with a Special Rifle Command, rush start, which of course will set him back quite considerably in the whole taking territory business. Of course, the question is, what will be popping out here from area and line? Will it be snipers, scout cars, penal troops? We shall soon find out, I imagine. But we are, in fact, again seeing a very steady advance going on here from Faith is Insanity. 3 Pioneers taking up. So far, so good. More centerward movement from Mr. Masterigor. His men looking a bit perturbed, something. And we are in fact seeing the sniper teams pulling out here for Masterigor, which is of course hoping to drain the initial manpower out of Faith in Insanity, and getting a 4th squad of Pioneers, meaning he's probably like going to have these chaps running right on the front line a bit more while he has a 4th one build the buildings. So of course have to see, and getting into cover, cloaking up. Difference between German and Soviet snipers is that the Germans can move about a bit better outside. They can move for, I think, a second more out of cover, meaning they can, for example, move from here to here, thus, you know, being a bit more stealthy, but that's about it. And they shoot faster, and they have the B-Patronen, which is basically a high explosive round, which actually in the B stands for Beobachtung, which is observer round. So fun there. But likely we will not be seeing that from Faith is Insanity. But the scout sniper squad consistently moving out, and there we go. And gets a kill. Killing 1 poor Pioneer. The Pioneers are rushing in. Going to deal with those damn Bolsheviks. And there we go, the scout car quickly rolls up. Ready to take these lovely ladies to the party. Apparently not. Moving ahead instead with his 50 caliber mounted on the front. And there you go, Pioneers getting spotted, coming in on the 550 caliber, and immediately drops one of the Pioneers, again proving its lethality. Another Pioneer drops dead. Heavy losses there to Faith is Insanity's Ausklärungspionieren. Not sure if they would have their own Pioneer unit, likely not, but probably some Panzer Pioneers could have been attached. Generally, though, the Ausklärungsabteilung could essentially be considered a Panzer Grenadier unit on its own, with a few armoured cars added to the mix, and we are in fact seeing the armoured car on the way. Of course, he's seen the Soviet one, so he knows he needs his own armoured car, and of course, in that sense, I suppose, this could also be seen as a counter move, in case he figured his opponent might be making this sort of rush, in which case, of course, he will ensure he doesn't get a half-track, and that's the Flamer half-track. I mean, there's certainly some possibilities there in that direction. But the Leichter Panzerspeerwagen going to be upgraded, and again, such a reconnaissance unit for the Germans for the Panzer divisions was again basically a large Panzer Grenadier division, or battalion, not division, bloody hell. But in armoured half-tracks, usually for Panzer Grenadier divisions, they would usually be in Kugelwagens or Schwimmwagens, with their own sets of equipment, armoured cars, and what-not. And they'd usually be paired up with the tank destroyer battalion of the division and formed into their own Kampfgruppen. Although I suppose some Panzers might also sometimes be dispatched. Pioneers are running into a lot of problems with the scout car. Veterans in one for it as well. But there we go. German one moving up. And there we go, we see the 20mm cannon firing away. Popping out the Pioneers, interesting enough. trying to hide them, perhaps. Or perhaps trying to serve something up as a distraction to let the armored car there. Interestingly enough, he did not hit the overdrive ability, which is something Soviet light vehicles have. The overdrive, pop it, and of course they rush away. So that was actually interesting to note. He did not do that. Very interesting to note. He could have perhaps have saved it that way. But no such luck. Instead, now we're seeing the snipers trying to hide from the scout car, peeking through the backyard. Panzer gun is moving in. There we go. They get spotted, and then largely dodge it again. There we go. Panzer guns might spot them, and there we go. Sturmgewehrs immediately ending the life of one of those two snipers. Second scout coming about with another sniper team in it, and there you go, popping into the building right in front of the Panzer Grenadiers and the scout car. That is not going to be a happy ending, and there we go, popping a grenade in, and the Panzer Grenadiers get the kill. And then the line with the Bolsheviks, flamethrower combat engineers moving up on the right flank, though we see Pioneers on the other hand, and there we go, scout car sniper, and we're seeing Guards infantry immediately as a response for the Masterigor. Of course, to the presence of the German scout cars, so anti-tank rifles. Of course, there are plenty of commanders who offer that one, so the question is, which one could it be? Which one could it be? Is it Guards motor? Is it Guards rifle? What doctrine is it? I don't think I know. I don't think I checked, to be honest. Anyway, second scout car coming out of fire here, but needs to be careful though, of course, at the same time as the Guards infantry moving in with the large anti-tank rifles. And there we go, we do see that the second Soviet scout car goes down in flames, and this one decides to get out. Looks like it has not received the AoE buff, so hopefully they will add up that again in a patch. Good lord. Guards infantry coming in a bit under fire, but again, without the AoE buff, it's not going to do much. Sadly. But more Pioneers, more Panzer Grenadiers, 2 squads of those. Gentlemen, and there we go, Pioneers rushing up to the flamethrower combat engineers. Firing away at the Pioneers. And the snipers also advancing. Looks like a second Guards infantry squad moving up there to support the 350th Rifle Division. Awful lot of them. And again, I suppose that bears some reminiscence of the good old, weapon support start from, the Allies and Company of Heroes. Getting then out the elite infantry to do most of the work. Of course, it's going to be more expensive, but you sort of hope that with the other things you've got, it can largely do the work. Panzer Grenadiers though moving in here, and they're going to have a very nasty surprise. And they're going third scout car out there for Masterigor. Panzer Grenadier drops, he needs to retreat. Look. There you go, but he might not make it. Other Panzer squad doing what I can. And there you go, bun grenade. Only killing one though, wounding the rest, but still, yeah. I think it's a bit too random in that direction. Scout car here supporting Pioneers, although the Pioneers are bursting into the flames as the combat engineers pour hot fire out the windows, never considering they're standing in a wooden building and what would happen if they even slightly aimed the wrong way. Boris, is this safe? Comrade Stalin never bothers with safe. Comrade Stalin slays the fascists, so shut up while we report you to the NKVD. And that was about that part of the discussion. But more scout cars, this is definitely interesting, and perhaps I should revise this as being a rifle division then. I'd forgotten about this, sorry again. Apparently jet lag can last for up to a week, and apparently I'm still affected quite a bit, sadly. Surprisingly, I'm not really used to jet lag, so yeah, either way, shifting this over to another division, I don't know, or unit. Let's just say the 5th Mechanized Corps. Could also be a Soviet reconnaissance unit, in fact, considering all their units, and they would usually be equipped with this. The Rota Razvedki, I'm not entirely sure, less clear on that one. But heavily equipped with these things, they would usually rush ahead, secure important points, junctions, bridges, all that, to ensure that the rest of the forces could move ahead with the Germans unable to jump holding these choke points. That was rather their purpose. They were usually reasonably well armed for the task. Very swift, very mobile, so fun fact there. And I do know a bit about Soviet tactics and strategy, although not as much as I know about Germans. I mean, in some ways they actually took a lot from each other. For example, the Germans had something they called a pack front, which was basically a series of anti-tank guns under the command of one commander, usually very much focused. The Soviets pretty much copied that one. Same thing, you know, with Germans. They pretty much directly just took the 120mm mortar and made it their own. So I mean, in that sense, you know, a lot of things. And again, there were a lot of exchange of ideas and equipment between the two armies. There we go. German scout car though continues to hunt down for the Soviet ones. Snipers quickly popping out. And there we go, a quick retreat. German scout car as usual, not having much luck, leaving behind only one of these. Of course, he could try and, you know, support the first one with this one filled with Guards infantry. That would make a very, very unpleasant surprise for this scout car. But popping over to Masterigor, who has in fact gone for the Guard drive combined arms, meaning submachine guns, meaning hit the dirt. Interestingly enough, actually, it's very odd that he went for this doctrine, considering he has absolutely no conscripts. It's actually, it's a really poor choice in doctrine, in fact, because the only thing he's getting out of this is the Guards infantry. I mean, these two abilities, which say are, you know, rather prime, will not affect him the slightest, because he has absolutely no units to benefit from it. Guards motor would have been a better choice in doctrine then. It's really odd that he then went for this one. It's, I mean, again, when you choose a commander, doctrine, tactics, whatever they're called, you know, consider what I'm actually planning on getting. If, again, it's submachine guns and this stuff and you're not getting conscripts, don't bother. I mean, that's pretty much just a waste of the doctrine. But we are seeing a lot of Guards infantry out here from Masterigor. 3 full squads of these considerably now heavily armed gentlemen. We're seeing Faith is Insanity securing a nice chunk of the front line as well, ever steadily, ever slowly. Points are being secured. We're also seeing the support armor corps going up. He of course realizes that with all the Guards infantry and snipers, he's not going to have that much luck out with tier 2, in particular the sniper going to counter a lot of his panzer grenadiers and such. So he's quickly moving on to something bigger, something the Guards infantry's anti-tank rifles will have a bit of a harder time dealing with. What is this, comrade? The fascists are using something our armed anti-tank rifles cannot penetrate. The cowards! Or something along those lines. But gaining a nice chunk of the map, and again, that's also sort of the problem with the sort of strategy that Masterigor employed. It's not one that's going to get you a lot of map control right away. In fact, quite the opposite. And again, it gets countered, like we saw here. It's going to really cost you a lot. Yeah, it looks like he's going to hit into the side here. They're not fully supported with Guards infantry. That was less good. And there we go. We need to see the sniper wagon. They're coming under fire. We also see the Guards infantry nearby. Careful, careful. There we go. Veterans free. Anti-tank gets the scout car blowing it up, leaving the snipers once more without a ride. And looks like he's going for the SU-85. He could go for the SU-76 to quickly get some lighter support, some artillery to blow up the pack, and of course the rest of the guns to shoot up the armoured car. But there we go. We are seeing an Austrian flak panzer rolling out in the name of the Vaterland. And nice move there, going for the cut-off points. Well done, Mr. Faith is Insanity. Very nice, bold play there. And of course, again, we're seeing considerable more weakness here in the strategy employed by Masterigor. Again, it's not really one that can help him control the map. And there we go. About to get really nasty. Can he button it? Lots of anti-tank rifle fire. Has a slight chance of penetrating, but ultimately not a lot. Scout car actually taking an awful lot of damage. Pioneers trying to flank up, getting shot at as well. And there we go. There we go. Flak pan's almost down to half health. Anti-tank rifles firing away with abandon. A grenade here would do good. A grenade here would do good. But no, apparently not. Oh, flamethrowers take out a lot. There we go, grenade. Pan's going to score. Ooh, survives that one. Lucky Heinz. Lucky Heinz. SU-85 is still somewhere off, and he's floating a ton of manpower. Come on, Masterigor. Build some stuff. Build some stuff. Damn you. Panzer is catching on fire. And there we go. That fun grenade did absolutely no damage. Veterans 2 on these. We did see the scout going down. One Guards infantry squad is wiped out, and there we go, calling in a third one about damn time. But again, Masterigor is clearly getting overwhelmed. Things are not quite sticking together for him the way he hoped. So this is looking less than splendid at the time for him. Although he does have a two veteran 2 units now, which is something. This Guards infantry squad, though, seems to have been forgotten by Masterigor, although now might be remembered, and the pioneers might remember to take cover.
What do you need?
See a rather brutal series of engagements here.
Infantry fire incoming.
And a bit of fighting over here.
This is hopeless. Retreat.
Guards infantry immediately push away those pioneers. Must be not getting repaired. That's less good. Less good. Let's see if Masterigor can get back from this. Although now with the H-85 on the way, that should be possible. H-85, one more bigger, more specialized tank destroyer that the Soviets used, based on the T-34 chassis. Of course, there was later on the H-100, but that only came about in 1945, in fact. Also had a slight problem due to the gun size. It had a tendency of slightly tipping over, and if it then didn't clear the barrel, you know, the whole thing would blow up. Slight fun fact there. Looks like we seem to have assault support up here from Faith and Insanity. We are seeing the Opel Blitz truck hiding nicely. The driver enjoying a nice pint of lager and a nice book, possibly some Kant or Nietzsche, I don't know. And there we go, Guards infantry immediately drop the first Panzer Grenadier. 2 squads moving ahead. There needs to be careful. We're seeing a lot more Guards infantry nearby. That's going to be a lot of machine gun fire going to be directed against the Panzer Grenadiers. H-35 opens up. Grenades getting locked at the advancing infantry. We do see some going down, but ultimately again another grenade. More going down, but ultimately only one man really went down there. Panzer is quickly retreating in the face of this intense firepower being directed. Another man down. A second sniper squad. I think Masterigor might want something a bit more to support the rest. And looks like someone died to the fire as a flamethrower tank actually burst open. And there you go, anti-tank rifle picked up once more. H-85, Guards infantry save the day. And again, the amount of detail on these vehicles is absolutely astounding. Looks like the Austrians going to slowly roll towards here. And a Panzerkampfwagen arrives for Faith and his Ausklärungsabteilung of the 4th Panzer Division. Combat engineers getting a one hell of a surprise as the Austrian slowly advances, firing considerably large flak rounds, which turned out to be not great at just shooting down aircraft, but also much squishier targets. Su-85, in fact, being forced to roll back because of this, and the Panzer IV moving up to support this, by the looks of things. Panzer is enforcing another squad of Panzer Grenadiers, the Ausklärungsabteilung, getting more of its infantry. And Faith is Insanity once more reinforcing all of his troops. Ostwind here getting hunted down. Could be... No, he doesn't. I'm not sure if Faith is Insanity is actually baiting him, in which case if he is, that's actually quite nice and that's a good move. Trying to bait in his opponent's tank destroyer, and this is actually very poorly considered by Masterigor. You don't want to rush in a tank destroyer on its own. That matter any assault gun, Stug, whatever. Don't do it like that. And it only seems like the fact that he was able to catch the Panzer IV in front of it was his only saving grace. Now, though, he needs to get his Guards infantry up to support it, button it up, something. He should not let the H-85 be on his own like that, but apparently he's too caught up in manning the H-85. Main gun destroyed. Veterans U1, Panzer IV's main gun is out. Pack moving up, come on. Oh, Masterigor is so caught up in the H-85, and again, he's not thinking straight. It's a tank destroyer, not a tank. A lot of people seem to think, you know, if it has tank in it, it must be a tank, and then stop, read tank, and then they stop reading the rest. Main gun destroyed another vehicle. Come on, get the infantry up, finally, moving it, schnell! I mean, davai, davai, something, I don't know Russian.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Snipers hiding over here, getting a... apparently reporting that was for their father. Yeah, that's not happy. But we do see both of the main German tanks making their way back.
Sniper standing by.
And this sniper is very much on the run. And looks like the anti-tank on here will get overwhelmed. Where are the engineers? Why are they not there to repair? And still not a lot of territory for Masterigor. And yes, this is not really necessarily the most pro game. It was either that or another of my matches, and I suppose people didn't want that. Though if there were, and there's still nothing tomorrow, I'll put that one up instead. But time for the mid-game analysis. Germans are currently ruling rather nicely, partly due to the fact that Masterigor is having a trouble, not blobbing up, not trying to just get parts of it. And, well, overall, we do see here that Faith and Sandy is having a much better time basically controlling the map because he's better able at spreading out. We do see he's still got an H85, we still see two Panzers, which are going to require a lot of repairs, which means they're going to be out for some time, and that means also the Pioneers are going to be out for some time. Only an H85 here for Masterigor, but can Masterigor get it back in time, and can he, begin taking back some of the map? Of course, he needs to be sure he doesn't get rushed by the Panzer Grenadiers, but, keep the Guards infantry close within range so they can easily pull back to another squad, and that way get overwhelming fire superiority towards the advancing Panzer Grenadiers. Otherwise, Masterigor needs some more armour. He needs some SU-8076s, I think, to add some lighter, more volume to his level of fire, basically. Either another SU-85s could do well. And otherwise, secure the cut-off point there, deny the resources here. Otherwise, he needs to get back the map. That's basically it for Faith's Insanity. He needs to get those Panzers back. He needs to hold what he has until then, until his Panzers are back. And he needs, of course, work towards getting more tanks. We also see he's got a strafing run. So that should, of course, also be interesting. Though he's not using the officer again. I'm slightly disappointed in that, slightly. And, of course, there's likely going to be a chance of a Tiger appearing in this match. But let's return to this match up. Pack has been recruited, though. That's always a good news for the Russian player who did it. Less so for the Germans who now have to contend with even more anti-tank gunfire. And we see the H-85 rolling back. Close to Veteran 2, needs to get repaired. These Guards infantry need to get back, and in this sense, there's always, I would say, there should always be a rule to recruiting, go with the cheapest infantry and don't go with the veteran troops. Take the non-veteran troops first, recruit. In this case, he's just cut the power of his Veteran 2 Guards infantry squad in half, when he could have done with, the less veteran ones. So again, small rules of thumb there. Of course, lots of things for our newer viewers to watch and learn, hopefully. And of course, feel free to tell about this channel. Also, a small fun fact. I'm actually in the game credits, if I haven't mentioned that one before. Again, the jet lag is slightly messing with some parts of my memory, it seems. But yeah, I'm in the credits. Look it up. Imperial Dane. Definitely one hell of an achievement and one of a kind. Second Panzerkampf, I can feel rolling out there. Apparently the Panzer Battalion has been sent in to support here. Panzer IV rolling out. Points being secured. We're now seeing Masterigor making good progress. Looks like he's slightly getting better, though, again. Also, the snipers, keep them behind your infantry, not at the front. I know these are scout snipers, but still, be a bit more cautious. And there we go, we're seeing a huge Panzer Gunner wave coming to hit up the flank. Needs to be careful. Needs to be careful. Guards infantry here needs to get back. Panzer Gunner immediately dropping. We're seeing a strafing run coming in. There's nothing here to cover. Pack also exposed. Snipers need to get out there. Come on, Masterigor. You really seem to have the reaction time of a sloth. Grenade going off here. Taking out a nice chunk of the Panzer because these Guards infantry know they need to get out. Sadly, though, looks like they went down on the retreat. Again, Masterigor's unit preservation leaves a lot to be desired. Looks like that was able to save the day. Finally, another strafing run. Oh, gets the sniper team. They've actually upped the damage of those things. Good lord. That actually makes strafing run rather mean. So, yeah. And of course, in that sense, it might be time for Masterigor to consider getting some anti-aircraft. Another strafing run.
You need something?
It's done.
And it rather seems to be suffering the exact same thing as Allied strafing runs did previously, before some of the later patches in Company of Heroes, that is. It's really effective against lone units, but against blobs it does nothing, which is rather the opposite of how it ought to be. So that's something Relic might want to have a look at.
Grenadiers standing by.
Oh well. But yeah, needs to pull back again, needs to get some fresh infantry out in the field. And there we go, we see the Panzers on the move, for faith is insanity. And we're seeing here a second Su-85. And opening up on these combat engineers, they are not going to have a long life expectancy.
Panzer Grenadiers.
And also looks like some fragmentation bombs were utilised apparently over here where they didn't actually do much. Which is supposed to be a bit of a shame, and there we go, Panzer was advancing. H-85 again being used like a tank destroyer. And looks like a Soviet strafing run is now in 2 H-85s, Pack also. And of course that one just tears up infantry no matter what. No matter what, if they're blocked or not, it will kill them. And looks like he's still continuing with the assault. This is not really good by faith and insanity. Oh dear, this is insanity. He did get the pack, but there's still 2 H-85s. One of them is veterancy 2. This Panzer IV just needs to pull back. Pull back. And another fragmentation bombing run. Getting the Pioneers, stunning the crews, which is actually quite handy to know you can use the fragmentation bombs to stun armoured crews, but still, Panzer IV just needs to get out of there before it's too late. And right now we just see huge infantry losses on both sides, but ultimately again the problem is for Masterigor, he's much too slow in retreating. Getting out of there, saving and preserving his men. He really needs to work on that, which ultimately can only be achieved by playing the game a lot and minding those things. I mean, some things you just have to, do over and over again. Training, raw training. But also, of course, needs you to be aware on those departments. But there we go, 2 H-85s moving in. They want that Panzer IV. And we're also seeing here he's getting awfully close to a Tiger tank. Panzer IV down. That was pretty much all of his Panzer IVs. Panzer goes advancing. And he's equipping some of them with Panzer Strikes. He's actually just charging his H-85s in, crushing his many, but still needs to be careful. This could easily end up very, very badly for Masterigor. No, again, they're not tanks. And there you go, Raketen Panzerbüchse up. Veterans 1-1, but now he needs to get out of there. One squad of Panzer is down, but again, get out of there, get out of there. One H-85 down. Come on, Masterigor. Save your men.
Ready.
Or you might be facing a very cross Comrade Stalin soon. H-85 pulling back, Panzer's trying to down. Guards infantry going over there, not trying to cover the retreat. Oh dear, Masterigor. There seems to be very little cohesion in your plans. And another Guards infantry squad. Oh dear. I mean, Masterigor, there's clearly no cohesion anymore. It's just, rushing things here and there, reacting, reacting, counteracting. Although he's very close, of course, it might have something to do with the victory points, which are very, very low. And of course, note how much infantry this killed, crashed, and of course shot. Because the thing is, with the H-85, it actually has AoE compared to the Stug again. And there we go, veterancy free, making it very tough. And getting another kill. 2 rockets hit. Guards infantry moving in. Grenade. Oh dear, he just lost his 3 Panzers with Panzerschrecks. Yeah, in this case it was Faith is Insanity who were extended. And he's actually getting a Panzer IV when he could just save that up and get a Tiger tank. What are you... Oh well. I suppose he just wants
Pioneers awaiting orders.
the Tiger tank. Well, something armour. Again, he needs to just focus on these victory points. I mean, he's got plenty of time to try and get back, but he feels, of course, he's suffered too much, I suppose.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
So another Panzer IV popping out. And in that sense, it's only really gotten out of this doctrine is using the Opel Blitz and the strafing run, which is about the same as his opponent's gotten out of the doctrine, which again is not necessarily very good. Well, he's actually got 3 abilities, so he actually got more of it, never mind. Pioneers are the ones left to hold here. Oh, we do see the strafing run actually saving the day. Well, then that was the very last strafe before it had to head back. Centre's largely being dominated here. Small units being detached to different sides, and of course, Faith and Sanity knows he just have to hold those flank victory points, so he knows he's not going to have to bother with much, which means he just needs to sort of hold. Hold then. Panzer's moving out, and these are veterans 3, meaning they're going to be a nightmare for the Guards infantry. I mean, as soon as you get some veterans on those Panzers, they really become nasty. But that's also a bit of a caveat.
It's a kill.
And there we go, the Guards infantry went down. And once more dispatching only 1 squad. Seems like here that Masterigor is rather underestimating the situation. Guards infantry advancing straight into flamethrower fire, and there we go, Panzer IV gets off a nice hit. And there we go, game over. Bit of a short match again. Again, there's not really a lot of replays at the moment to go about, but you're not good ones. So again, I'm trying, but again, you know, I don't want to get people all really tired of my own replays as well, so that is another of those, you know, tricky things. But, you know, quick match. As opposed to this way, we'll get up our Monday novice fill before next Monday. I suppose I might just cancel that one. And just leave the regular matches, I know. Anyways, 1 versus 1 here. We saw a bit of this and that. Again, we saw, you know, what happens when you go for the scout car sniper rush. You know, what happens if it's easily countered with a single German scout car, which was quite nice. We also saw, you know, again, you know, need to spread out, you know, decently, not blob up. Again, that allowed the German player to dominate the map quite handily. And, you know, don't choose a doctrine if it doesn't really fit you well. I mean, again, there are tons of other doctrines that Mr. Masterigor could have chosen, which could have done him a lot more good than this one, where he pretty much just used the Guards infantry and then the Sturmovik. There are plenty more others which he could have gotten a lot more out of then. In particular, since he never got the infantry, which these 2 abilities would have gone for. So again, there are some things, you know, which really should have been considered by Masterigor, but which weren't. The H-85s were sort of alright used, semi, but again, he also used them like tanks, which could easily have gone very wrong. Had Faith in Sanity, you know, perhaps been a bit more aggressive with his tanks and tried to flank a bit more. Another consideration, if you will. So a lot of those, in fact. I mean, again, unit preservation could have on both sides been better, but overall, Faith is intended played better. He had better map control, better unit preservation, a clearer idea of what he was intending to do and what was going to happen, which Masterigor clearly did not. That, of course, there were several times when nothing was happening because he was so intent on just focusing on one unit that he forgot the rest of the field. We're not playing Diablo. There are also other things to manage. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned a thing or two from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, share it with whoever you know. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.